Have you ever driven past a car dealership and seen rows of brand new vehicles just sitting there? It's a strange sight, and it leaves you wondering, what happens to all the cars that don't get sold? Do they go back to the factory, end up as scrap metal, or just linger around forever? You might be surprised to learn that in today's market there are actually more unsold cars sitting on dealer lots than ever before. Take the Dodge Charger, for example. Right now, there are over 6,800 unsold Chargers, and they're sitting idle for an average of 312 days. That's nearly a year before they might find a new owner. And it's not just the Charger. Other models like the Ford Bronco and Infiniti QX80 are also struggling to attract buyers. So what actually happens to these unsold cars? Before diving into that, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. Now let's break down how dealerships operate. Contrary to popular belief, dealers don't own those cars outright, they finance them. Just like individuals take out loans, dealerships borrow money to stock their lots with new vehicles, paying the manufacturer up front. That means each car sitting there is costing them money. Think interest, insurance, and precious lot space. When a car doesn't sell quickly, it can become a financial headache for the dealership. They don't have the luxury of holding onto inventory forever. They need to move those cars fast to stay profitable. But here's the twist. Once they purchase a car, there's no sending it back to the factory. They're stuck with it. One of the ongoing challenges for car manufacturers and dealerships is accurately predicting consumer demand. Companies produce vehicles based on forecasted sales and market trends, but sometimes they hit a miss. A shiny new model that seemed promising in concept could end up being one nobody wants. To avoid this issue, dealerships closely monitor their inventory turnover rates, aiming to sell cars in a timely manner. This often involves analyzing sales data and customer feedback to make strategic decisions about which models to promote and which to discount. So, what's the fate of those unsold vehicles? Let's dive into the key strategies dealerships use to clear out unsold inventory. First up, we've got the classic move: lowering prices and offering incentives. It's probably the most straightforward tactic out there. Take the Ford Escape, for instance. Dealerships might offer special financing deals, cash rebates, or significant markdowns to entice potential buyers. Additionally, they may bundle vehicles with additional perks like free maintenance packages or warranties to enhance the value proposition and attract more interest. Data shows that dealerships across the U.S. are dealing with nearly 58,000 unsold units due to an oversupply lasting more than 6 months. To counter this, dealerships are rolling out aggressive discounts and enticing offers to draw in buyers. And it's not just the dealerships getting involved. Manufacturers also step in. If a specific model isn't flying off the shelves, the car company might throw in some extra incentives like 0% financing, cashback options, or even employee pricing deals. Some dealers get creative with bundle offers. Think free maintenance, extended warranties, or appealing trade-in bonuses to enhance value for buyers without cutting too deeply into their profits. These strategies not only draw in shoppers but also help reduce the overstock problem that has plagued many dealerships. But what if those discounts still don't do the trick? That's when things get interesting. The next tactic involves transforming new cars into pre-owned ones. Yep, if a new car isn't gaining any traction, some dealerships opt for a clever workaround. They add it to their loaner fleet. When customers come in for service, they often have access to loaner cars, including those brand new models that just aren't selling. After being driven for a while, the car officially becomes a used vehicle, allowing the dealership to list it at a lower price. This shift often leads to quicker sales since used cars typically move faster than their new counterparts. Another variation of this tactic involves letting employees use these vehicles as demo cars. After some miles are put on, these cars return to the lot as slightly used, often with a price drop. Many dealerships also have certified pre-owned programs, giving these former loaners a quality certification and a manufacturer-backed warranty, making them even more appealing to buyers who want nearly new cars for less. This approach reflects an understanding of consumer psychology, as buyers sometimes perceive value in purchasing vehicles that come with an added layer of assurance. But wait, there's more. If those strategies aren't enough to clear the lot, dealerships have even more tricks to explore. Stay tuned as we'll uncover what comes next. Trading cars among dealerships is a common practice, but the demand for specific vehicles can vary greatly from one location to another. For instance, a convertible might fly off the lot in Florida while it barely gets a glance in Minnesota. That's where dealership trades come into play. If a car isn't selling in one area, it might find a better home in another region. Take a dealership in New York, for example. If they have a luxury sedan that isn't moving, they could trade it with a California dealership where demand is higher. This type of strategy not only helps to optimize inventory, but also fosters relationships between dealerships, creating a more cohesive network that benefits both parties involved. Additionally, it underscores the importance of market research, as understanding regional trends can significantly impact sales outcomes. This exchange helps both dealerships offload inventory that isn't performing while picking up something more desirable in return. Dealers often swap cars that are specialty models or in specific trims or colors that simply don't resonate in their location. But what happens when a car still can't find a buyer? That's when things get interesting. It gets sent to auction, which is a key strategy we'll look into. Let's dive into auctions. They're often a dealer's last resort, but they play a significant role in the automotive industry, one that many buyers might not even be aware of. Every day, thousands of cars are bought and sold at these auctions, and not all of them operate in the same way. It's essential to recognize that in addition to traditional physical auctions, the rise of online car auction platforms has changed the landscape, allowing dealers to bid on vehicles remotely and providing a wider reach for sellers. You'll find two main types of car auctions. First, there are closed auctions, which are exclusive to franchise dealerships of a particular brand. For example, Ford might hold an auction just for Ford dealerships to bid on unsold inventory. This helps maintain the resale values of their vehicles. On the flip side, we have open auctions. Here, any licensed dealer can get in on the action, which can sometimes lead to quicker price drops. Used car lots often source their inventory from these open auctions, often scoring significant discounts. When it comes to auction marketplaces, one of the largest is Manheim, managed by Cox Automotive. If a car isn't selling, there's a good chance it'll end up at a regional Manheim auction, where it's likely to attract a dealership looking for a deal. However, keep in mind that cars sold at auction rarely fetch full price. Dealers may take a loss, but it's a better option than retaining a vehicle that's just draining their finances. And here's a surprising tidbit. Rental car companies are among the biggest buyers at these auctions. If you've ever rented a car, there's a chance it started life as a slow-selling vehicle at a dealership, got auctioned off, and then joined a rental fleet. But wait, there's one more outcome for cars that don't sell. What about the vehicles that never even make it to dealership lots? Let's explore that next. Sometimes car manufacturers produce more of a specific model than they actually sell. A recent case in point is the oversupply of certain electric vehicles. Rather than letting dealerships overflow with models nobody wants, automakers have a few strategies up their sleeves. First, many manufacturers use storage facilities. These locations are designed to hold excess inventory for various lengths of time. The intention is to allow for a later release when consumer demand potentially increases, or to keep the cars in pristine condition until they can be sold. In addition, manufacturers might also engage in promotions or incentives to encourage dealerships to purchase unsold inventory, thereby reducing the risk of further financial losses. It might surprise you, but they actually keep thousands of unsold cars parked in large lots, just waiting for demand to rise. These lots often span acres, with rows and rows of vehicles just sitting idle, sometimes for months or even years. Such inventory management allows manufacturers to strategically control supply and potentially increase desirability in the future. Second, there's the option of exporting. Some cars that don't sell well in the US market are shipped overseas where people might be eager to buy them. A model that doesn't take off in the US could be incredibly popular in regions like South America, Africa, or Asia. This process not only clears out unsold inventory, but also opens up markets that may have different economic dynamics or consumer preferences, making it a viable strategy for manufacturers to maximize their profit margins. Finally, there are occasions when manufacturers choose to recycle or scrap extra vehicles. They might destroy unsold cars rather than sell them at big discounts that could damage their brand image. Instead, they salvage valuable parts and accept the loss. Recycling programs also contribute to sustainability efforts by reclaiming materials and reducing waste, an important factor in today's environmentally conscious market. So, the next time you spot a car sitting on a dealership lot for what seems like forever, remember it won't stay there indefinitely. But that doesn't guarantee it will end up with a new owner. The key takeaway? No matter how unpopular, overpriced, or outdated a car is, every model eventually finds a way to sell, whether through exports or other means. The ongoing monitoring of market trends and consumer preferences ensures that manufacturers stay agile in their strategies. If you found this information helpful, please like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments. What's the best car deal you've ever encountered? Let's discuss it.